The more I think about you, the more I feel like I'm discovering a deeper part of myself. My thoughts may be tangled in you, but they've never felt so beautifully disordered. You've made my mind a beautiful mess, and I wouldn't change a thing. I used to have control over my thoughts, but now you're the one in charge, and I'm learning to let go. You've invaded my thoughts in the best way possible, and now I can't imagine life without you in my mind. There's a part of me that wishes I could turn off my thoughts, but another part of me is grateful you've made a home in my mind. Every thought of you pulls me deeper into this world where you and I are the only things that matter. I never imagined I'd lose myself like this, but somehow losing my mind over you feels more like finding a piece of myself I never knew was missing. Every moment with you fills my mind with more than I can process, but I'm willing to keep losing myself in it over and over again. Losing my mind over you isn't a burden. It's a beautiful surrender I never thought I'd be brave enough to make. I find myself getting lost in thoughts of you, and in that loss, I feel more alive than ever. My mind has become your home, and I don't think I ever want to leave. The more I think of you, the more I realize that losing myself in you is the only way I want to live. I thought I had control over my thoughts, but you've changed that, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I keep searching for something to quiet my mind, but all I can think of is you. The thoughts of you are like a fire burning through my mind in the most intoxicating way. Every thought I have of you makes me feel both completely grounded and utterly lost all at once. Your presence haunts my mind in the best possible way, and I never want to find peace again. I thought I could escape my thoughts, but you've made sure that every part of me is filled with you. Losing my mind over you feels like a paradox, but it's a paradox I'm willing to live with. With every thought of you, I fall deeper into this beautiful madness that is now my reality. I can't stop thinking about you, and it's both overwhelming and comforting, like the warm embrace of a storm. In every moment, my mind calls out for you, and I've come to realize I've been waiting for this madness all along. The more I lose myself in thoughts of you, the more I feel like I'm discovering parts of my soul I didn't even know existed. You've rewired my thoughts, making everything seem like a reflection of you, and I can't find a reason to stop looking. Every time I try to push you from my mind, I only find myself falling deeper into the thoughts of you. I've never been so consumed by someone, and yet, in this chaos, I find a kind of clarity I never knew was possible. When my thoughts start to drift, they always find their way back to you, like an anchor in the sea of my mind. You've taken over every inch of my thoughts, and it's the most wonderful takeover I could ever imagine. Every time you enter my thoughts, it's as if time slows down, and I'm left in awe of everything you make me feel. I thought my mind was my own, but now it's filled with you, and I can't decide if that's the most beautiful thing or the scariest. Losing my mind over you doesn't feel like a loss at all. It feels like a transformation, a journey I never want to end. You've stolen my thoughts, and I can't help but be thankful for it every single day. My mind races with thoughts of you, but instead of feeling lost, I feel found in a way I never imagined. I can't stop thinking about you, and I've realized that's exactly how I want it to be forever. You've captured my mind in the most captivating way, and I've never felt more alive. Every thought of you sends ripples through my heart, making it impossible to think of anything else. My mind used to be quiet, but now it's alive with thoughts of you, and I wouldn't change a thing. You've become the centerpiece of my thoughts, and no matter where I go, you're always there, waiting for me. I can't stop thinking about you, and with every thought, I fall deeper into this beautiful, chaotic feeling you've created. Thoughts of you fill every corner of my mind, leaving no room for anything else. And that's exactly how I want it. I thought I knew what it meant to lose myself, but nothing compares to losing myself in thoughts of you. Every time you cross my mind, it's as though the world shifts, and for a brief moment, it's just you and me. I never realized how captivating it could be to lose my mind over someone until it was you who took control. You're the only thought that lingers in my mind, and I can't decide if I'm losing control or finding myself. Every thought of you brings both peace and chaos into my world, and I can't help but welcome both. Every thought of you feels like a storm inside my mind, yet I can't help but embrace the chaos. In the silence of my mind, your presence echoes louder than anything else. I never thought it was possible to be both consumed by you and yet feel this peaceful at the same time. You've taken over every corner of my thoughts, and I wonder if that's even a bad thing. In the midst of all the noise, your voice is the only sound I long to hear. When I think of you, it's like my mind races faster than my heart can keep up. You've turned my world upside down, and I'm not sure whether to thank you or to lose myself completely. You are the spark that ignites my thoughts, leaving me to wonder what my world would be like without you. I try to silence the thoughts of you, but you seem to grow louder the more I try. You are both the calm and the storm inside my heart, and I'm learning to embrace it. I never knew that losing my mind over someone could feel so much like finally finding myself. I can't seem to get enough of you, not just in body, but in thought, in feeling, in everything. You haunt my thoughts in the most beautiful way, making it impossible to think of anything else. I feel like I'm constantly teetering on the edge of sanity and love, and you're the only one who can push me off. You've unlocked something deep inside me, and now my mind races to keep up with everything I feel for you. Every minute without you feels like a lifetime, yet every moment with you feels like time stops altogether. You've made me realize that the deepest thoughts and feelings can't always be understood, but simply felt. There's a beautiful chaos that comes with being obsessed with someone, and I wouldn't want it any other way. My mind can't seem to settle. Every waking moment is filled with thoughts of you. You have a way of making my thoughts spin, and I think I like being dizzy in your presence. I never realized that losing my mind over you would feel so much like finding peace within myself. You're like a melody that plays endlessly in my head, and I never want the song to stop. Your presence has invaded my thoughts in a way that feels both overwhelming and wonderful. Losing myself in you feels like the most natural thing I've ever done. Every thought I have leads back to you, and I can't seem to escape the pull of it. You have taken over my mind, but in a way that makes everything feel just right. Being consumed by thoughts of you is both terrifying and exhilarating, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Your voice is like a constant whisper in my mind, reminding me that I'm never far from thoughts of you. I can't seem to stop thinking about you, but I've come to realize that it's because you've become a part of me. My mind may be losing its grip, but at least it's losing itself to something as beautiful as you. Thoughts of you swirl through my head like a whirlwind, and I can't seem to catch my breath. In the space between my thoughts, there's only you, and I don't mind it one bit. Losing my mind over you feels like a kind of bliss, a surrender I never thought I'd be willing to make. When I close my eyes, I can see you in every thought, every dream, every heartbeat. You're not just on my mind, you've become the very fabric of my thoughts. The more I think about you, the more I realize that this mind of mine may just be yours to keep. Every time I try to focus on something else, your thoughts sneak back into my mind like an uninvited guest. You've become a constant in my mind, and I wonder how I ever functioned without you. Thoughts of you have taken over, and I no longer wish for them to go away. You've turned my world into a whirlwind of thoughts, and I'm enjoying every chaotic second. Even when I try to let go of thoughts of you, I find myself circling back, more drawn to you than ever. I didn't know it was possible to lose my mind over someone, but with you, it feels more like finding myself. Every time I think of you, it's like the rest of the world fades away, leaving only us in the center of my thoughts. My mind races, my heart races, and it's all because of you. You've rewritten the rules of my thoughts, and now everything I think comes back to you. I never thought I'd be this obsessed with someone, but here I am, losing my mind in the best way possible. I try to focus on other things, but my mind always drifts back to you, like a compass that can't point anywhere else. You've consumed my thoughts, and I think I'm okay with it because it feels like I've found something worth obsessing over. You're the first thing I think about when I wake up, and the last thought in my mind before I fall asleep. I'm learning that losing my mind over you doesn't always mean losing control. It's more like gaining a new sense of purpose. You've made me realize that the mind doesn't always need to make sense when it comes to love.